Hey there, fellow gardeners, I've been there. Standing in my garden staring at beautiful lush pepper plants loaded with gorgeous green foliage but absolutely zero peppers in sight. It's one of the most frustrating experiences in gardening, especially when you've invested months of care into these plants. If you're watching your pepper plants put on a stunning green show while refusing to produce the fiery fruits you're craving, you're not alone. After years of troubleshooting pepper problems in my own garden and helping countless Soil Sensei community members, I've identified the most common culprits behind unproductive pepper plants. The good news? Most of these issues are completely fixable once you understand what's happening beneath the surface. One of the biggest mistakes I see gardeners make is overfeeding their pepper plants with nitrogen. I get it, we want our plants to thrive, so we load them up with that beautiful green growth. But here's the thing, peppers are like teenagers with too much allowance money. Give them too much nitrogen, and they'll spend all their energy on partying, growing leaves, instead of focusing on their responsibilities, producing fruit. Excess nitrogen creates what I call the green monster effect. Your plants become these gorgeous, bushy specimens that would win any foliage contest, but they're essentially too comfortable to reproduce. In the plant world, stress is often the catalyst for fruit production. When a plant senses it might be in danger, it shifts its energy toward creating offspring, in this case, peppers full of seeds. The solution isn't to starve your plants, but to balance their diet. Switch to a fertilizer with lower nitrogen and higher phosphorus and potassium once flowering begins. I like to use a 5-10-10 ratio during the fruiting stage. This shift tells your plants it's time to get serious about pepper production. So, peppers are incredibly temperature sensitive, and honestly they have some pretty specific preferences for both daytime and nighttime temperatures. During my early gardening years, I learned this lesson the hard way when my beautiful plants dropped every single flower bud during a particularly hot summer. The magic numbers you need to remember are 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit for nighttime temperatures and 70 to 85 degrees during the day. When nighttime temperatures consistently stay above 75 degrees, peppers literally can't set fruit properly. The pollen becomes non-viable, and even if pollination occurs, the developing fruits often abort. On the flip side, when temperatures drop below 60 degrees at night or stay below 65 during the day, pepper plants go into survival mode and shut down reproduction entirely. If you're dealing with temperature extremes, consider using shade cloth during excessive heat. 30 to 50% shade works well, or row covers during cool spells. In containers, you actually have the advantage of being able to move plants to more suitable microclimates around your property. Here's something that surprised me when I first learned it. Peppers are largely self-pollinating, but they still need a little help to make the magic happen. Unlike tomatoes, which can set fruit with just a gentle shake, peppers benefit significantly from insect activity or gentle air movement. In my greenhouse, where natural air circulation is limited, I've had to become the pollination fairy. A small fan creating gentle air movement, or even hand pollinating with a small brush, can make the difference between a productive season and a disappointing one. I use a soft paintbrush and gently touch the center of each flower, moving from plant to plant during the morning hours when pollen is most viable. If you're noticing flowers that open, then drop without forming peppers, poor pollination is likely your culprit. This is especially common in covered growing environments or during periods when beneficial insects are scarce. Water management with peppers requires a delicate balance that I like to compare to parenting. Too little attention, and they suffer; too much, and you spoil them into poor performance. Inconsistent watering is probably the second most common cause of poor pepper production I encounter. Peppers need consistent moisture, but they absolutely despise waterlogged conditions. I found that maintaining soil moisture at about 60 to 70% field capacity works best. This means the soil should feel like a wrung-out sponge moist, but not soggy. The real killer is inconsistent watering patterns. When peppers experience drought stress followed by flooding, they often respond by dropping flowers and small fruits. I learned to use mulch religiously around my pepper plants to maintain consistent soil moisture and reduce the stress of daily watering decisions. Deep, less frequent watering encourages stronger root development, which ultimately leads to more resilient plants that can support heavy fruit loads. I typically water deeply twice per week rather than light daily watering, adjusting based on rainfall and temperature conditions. The foundation of productive pepper plants lies in proper soil chemistry, and honestly, I've seen too many gardeners overlook this critical factor. Peppers prefer slightly acidic to neutral soil with a pH between 6.0 and 7.0. Outside this range, even if nutrients are present in the soil, plants can't access them effectively. Calcium deficiency is particularly problematic for peppers and often manifests as blossom end rot on developing fruits. But here's the tricky part. You might have plenty of calcium in your soil, but if your pH is off or watering is inconsistent, plants can't uptake it properly. I always recommend getting a proper soil test before assuming you need to add more fertilizer. Sometimes the nutrients are there, but something in the soil chemistry is preventing uptake. Simple pH adjustments with lime or sulfur can unlock nutrients that were previously unavailable to your plants. Finally, let's talk about something that's hard for all of us gardeners. Patience. Pepper plants are not quick gratification crops like radishes or lettuce. From transplant to first harvest, you're looking at 70 to 120 days depending on the variety. Some of my favorite hot pepper varieties don't even start setting fruit until late summer. I've watched new gardeners panic in mid-July when their pepper plants haven't produced fruit yet, leading them to over-fertilize or drastically change their care routine. Sometimes honestly, the best thing you can do is just maintain consistent, proper care, and let the plants do what they're programmed to do. Remember, a pepper plant that's putting energy into establishing a strong root system and a sturdy stem structure early in the season will, in the end, be way more productive than one that's pushed into early fruit production. Understanding why your peppers aren't producing is really the first step toward enjoying abundant harvests. By addressing these root causes systematically, balancing nutrition, managing temperature stress, ensuring proper pollination, maintaining consistent watering, optimizing soil chemistry, and, of course, practicing patience, you'll be well on your way to pepper success. If this article helped solve your pepper production puzzle, don't forget to subscribe to Soil Sensei for more in-depth gardening insights. And, hey, share this with fellow gardeners who might be facing the same frustrations. Together, we can all grow better gardens.